Relationships. They're sort of the invisible architecture of our lives, right? They shape our happiness, our success, and maybe most surprisingly, even our health. In this explainer, we're going to dig into the profound science behind why these connections matter so much.
I mean, just think about your day so far. You've probably already talked to family, sent a text to a friend, maybe had a quick chat with a colleague. Our lives are just woven together by these little threads of connection, from one moment to the next. We tend to take these moments for granted, don't we? But what is it really about these bonds that gives them such a huge influence over us? Well, the answer goes a lot deeper than you might think.
And you're going to want to stick around for this, because later on we're going to uncover a scientific link between our relationships and our physical health that is so powerful it might just change the way you see every single person in your life.
So, first things first, let's get on the same page about what we're actually talking about. The word relationship usually makes us think of family or romantic partners, but the reality is so much broader than that.
At its very core, a relationship is really just any bond where you trust someone, learn from them, or feel supported by them. It's about that meaningful exchange, no matter how short it is.
And that net is cast incredibly wide. It's not just your closest friends, you know? It's that teacher who inspired you, the mentor who guided you, even those brief but positive interactions you have every day. Every single one of those connections leaves an imprint.
Okay, so now let's look at one of the most critical things relationships do for us. They act as our emotional safety net.
We've all had those days, right? You get a bad grade, a project at work is a nightmare, or just the weight of everything feels overwhelming.
In those exact moments, when it feels like things might be falling apart, it's the people who care about us that give us the strength to just keep going. They're our foundation.
And what they provide is absolutely crucial. It's having someone to share a burden with, the comfort of knowing you're not going through it alone, and the stability that gives you that confidence to face whatever is coming your way.
And the science totally backs this up. People with strong social connections consistently say they feel less stressed and less lonely. A simple conversation with a trusted friend can literally help you stop overthinking and clear your head. It's kind of like hitting a mental refresh button.
Now, this is where it gets really fascinating. We know it helps our mental state, for sure. But could that emotional support actually add years to your life?
But before we answer that big question, let's explore another vital role that relationships play. They act as a mirror, showing us who we are and giving us a glimpse of who we could become.
When you think about it, we are, in a lot of ways, a collage of all the lessons we've learned from the people around us. Our discipline, our knowledge, our confidence, so much of it is shaped by others. And what's interesting is, it's not just the positive stuff. Even conflict is a powerful teacher. Disagreements, well, they force us to learn patience, to see another point of view, and to get better at communicating. Without those challenges, our personal growth would be pretty slow.
Okay, it's time. Time to answer that big question. We've seen how relationships support us emotionally and help us grow. So now, let's look at the ultimate connection, the one between our social lives and our actual physical health.
So, can the quality of your connections literally make your life longer?
The answer is a resounding, scientifically backed yes. This isn't just some motivational quote, it's a reality. The data on this is incredibly clear.
And here's why. Strong social bonds aren't just a nice-to-have thing. They create real physical benefits. They lower stress hormones, which then improves your sleep and actually strengthens your immune system. In fact, one huge study found that people with strong social ties had a 50% increased likelihood of survival. To put that in perspective, that's a bigger impact on your lifespan than quitting smoking. Just let that sink in.
Knowing this, the next logical question is, how can we actually build these life-sustaining bonds? Well, the good news is it doesn't take grand gestures. It really just takes consistent, small actions.
These practices right here are the building blocks. Truly listening, showing appreciation, being a source of support. These are the simple, powerful habits that create deep connections. It's about presence and it's about effort. It's about putting down your phone and just being fully there for someone.
So when we put it all together, you see that relationships aren't just part of life. They are the foundation that everything else is built on. Our health, our growth, and even the meaning we find in it all.
This quote really says it all, doesn't it? So here's a final thought for you. Who are the architects of your life?
Maybe take a moment today to really appreciate the people who make your world better. Because that connection, well, it's the most valuable thing you will ever have. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better.